Caught on camera, a Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer presses a gun to a man's head and threatens to kill him.
This happened in March when officers tried to arrest James Yarborough after he ran from police. It's what happened when they caught up to him that has our investigative reporter Nick Oxner asking some questions.
I'll get him. I'll catch that guy.
CMPD officers chased James Yarborough for about 4 minutes after he took off running from a traffic stop last March. It took multiple officers to catch him. This is what happened when they did.
Stop! I will kill you.
That's a gun on the left side of the screen, pressed to Yarborough's head, and an officer threatening to kill him.
I will kill you.
The only thing I did wrong that day was run. That is the only thing I did wrong that day.
Do you regret doing that?
Yes, yeah. I regret running.
Stop! Hey! Hey! Come here!
Police stopped a car Yarborough was a passenger in because they say it was connected to a string of larcenies. Yarborough, who's been convicted 3 different times on federal firearms charges, says he ran because he knew the driver of the car had a gun. Something he says he didn't want to be pinned on him.
Put your hand behind your back!
But he says he wasn't expecting the force officers used when they finally caught him.
That moment felt like, it felt like it might have been my last day.
Yarborough and the officers struggled for another 3 minutes after the gun was put to his head. The video shows officers punching and elbowing him in an effort to get his hands behind his back until, at one point, an officer points out Yarborough can't move because of the 4 men on top of him.
Guys, Dunham, you have to come up so he can get it back there. He's not going anywhere.
That has all of the features of excessive use of force.
We showed the video to attorney Jake Sussman, who represents clients in police brutality cases. Sussman said this body cam video would make for a compelling case in court that officers used excessive force.
I think you show that to 12 people on the street, they would certainly think that there was a problem. It certainly seems like that was an unreasonable use of force.
You and the department stand behind Officer Dunham's behavior in that video.
We do.
But the police say otherwise. Major Stella Patterson heads the department's internal affairs unit. She says the officers in the video didn't do anything wrong.
When you look completely at the totality of circumstances, you have to ask yourself, was that reasonable in that situation? And based on everything, it was reasonable.
It's reasonable for a police officer to take his pistol and put it up against the temple of someone's head and say that they'll kill that person?
Depends on the situation. You have to look at it in totality.
When you went to the police academy, were you taught that it's appropriate or okay to press your gun up against someone's head and say, I will kill you?
I don't know that we were taught to press the gun up against somebody's head. We were taught that you could point the weapon, and we see that Mr. Officer Dunham does that in the video.
That's hard to swallow. People die as a result of that. People are manhandled as a result of that. And that is, whether that's training, whether that's culture within the department, it's terrifying.
What would you say to those police officers who were on the ground with you that day?
I don't know what I'll say to him. I really don't.
Would you say what happened to you was justice?
No.
What would you call that?
A beating.
There you go.
Now, police charge Yarborough with resisting arrest, assault on a police officer, as well as a weapons charge. All 3 of those charges were dismissed by the district attorney's office, they say, for lack of evidence. Guys, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you. Right now on WBTV.com, we've posted much more of that story online, including the full body cam videos from 2 different officers and more details on CMPD's explanation for why they say this incident was by the book.
You can find our prior investigations on our website under the Investigations tab. Just head right now to WBTV.com. New at 6 o'clock, a WBTV investigation is getting results tonight as Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Chief Kerr Putney addresses a disturbing video we first told you about Monday. The video shows a CMPD officer pressing a gun to a man's head and threatening to kill him. Previously, the department defended their actions, but that changed today. Investigative reporter Nick Oxter was first to break this story. So, Nick, is the chief backtracking now?
Yeah, Maureen, Chief Putney said he simply cannot defend Officer John Dunham's decision to press his gun to James Yarborough's head and threaten to kill him. He says that's not what officers are taught to do, and it doesn't help ease tense situations.
What I'm not here to do is defend everything that was done, because I'm not going to defend the indefensible.
Chief Kerr Putney spoke with reporters Thursday afternoon about this video showing the violent arrest of James Yarborough.
I will kill you.
Who ran from police during a traffic stop.
I'm not going to defend some of the language because we do have policies that restrict what can be said and in what manner, nor am I going to defend all of the tactics used, especially on behalf of Officer Dunham.
But Putney's words Thursday were different from what a CMPD major told us less than a week earlier. In our investigation that first uncovered this video on Monday.
When you went to the police academy, were you taught that it's appropriate or okay to press your gun up against someone's head and say, "I will kill you"?
I don't know that we were taught to press the gun up against somebody's head. We were taught that you could point the weapon, and we see that Mr. Officer Dunham does that in the video.
Chief, you stood up here and said you cannot defend the actions of Officer Dunham, some of those actions in that video.
I cannot defend language. I cannot defend putting a gun to somebody's head in that situation. Yes.
And yet Major Patterson, in our interview and our story on Monday, did defend that. So was Major Patterson wrong to defend that in our interview on Monday?
What I saw from Major Patterson is the use of force was legally justified. She was very clear in that. She was very clear in it. Review it. I already have. And I can tell you that nobody's defending putting a gun to somebody's head in that particular situation.
You and the department stand behind Officer Dunham's behavior in that video.
We do.
The officer who incorrectly used his gun left CMPD a month after the incident and was never disciplined. Putney said the situation uncovered by WBTV will be a learning experience.
What we're going to do as an organization is apply the law and try to achieve a higher standard than even the law allows.
Stop resisting. I'm not.
Now, this story came to light because we were able to obtain a copy of police body cam video showing the officer's actions. But under a new law that took in effect, it is not a public record. Now, because of that law, Maureen, CMPD announced today it has petitioned a Superior Court judge for permission to release that video to the public.
So have there been any changes to that law since it was implemented late last year?
As a matter of fact, the North Carolina House of Representatives voted to tweak that law just today, basically making changes that make it easier for law enforcement agencies to share video with other agencies and with government managers and councils. However, the changes approved today still do not make it easier, Maureen, for police to share this body cam video with the public.
Very interesting to see what else happens with this story, Nick. Thank you.
Well, and there are some new developments just in on this story. Mayor Jennifer Roberts released a statement on the video just a short time ago, and it reads in part, "No one can justify pressing a gun to the head of one of our unarmed citizens and threatening to kill them. I agree with Chief Putney's statement today that the officer's actions were indefensible. This incident was both preventable and unacceptable." Again, a statement just in from Mayor Jennifer Roberts.
WBTV, on your side. WBTV News starts right now with breaking news.
And breaking tonight, an unprecedented ruling against CMPD after this body camera video shows an officer holding a gun to a man's head and threatening to kill him during an arrest. Tonight, Charlotte's Citizens Review Board just ruled the results of CMPD's internal investigation were wrong. Good evening. I'm Maureen O'Boyle.
And I'm Jamie Bull, in tonight for Paul Cameron. Glad you're with us. This is a story WBTV investigative reporter Nick Oxner was the first to expose, and he is following up on this live now in our newsroom. And Nick, the board says that officer used excessive force.
Yeah, Jamie, today's ruling means the CRB disagreed with the conclusions of CMPD Chief Kerr Putney that Putney reached at the end of the department's internal affairs investigation. At issue here is behavior captured in this video that we first uncovered this past spring. It shows that CMPD officer holding a gun to the head of James Yarborough. He then said he would kill Yarborough. Yarborough was unarmed. At the time, the CMPD major over internal affairs told me in an on-camera interview that the officer's actions were within policy, but later, Chief Kerr Putney said the officer's actions were indefensible. Late this afternoon, CRB members voted 7-1 to overturn the chief's internal affairs findings of the incident. That recommendation will now go to the Charlotte city manager. Now, just in the last couple of minutes, we got a statement from the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department reacting to today's CRB decision, outlining several policy changes it says it has already made as a result of this incident. Among the changes that they're making will be giving immediate attention to tactical concerns noted in use of force cases, and also treating all complaints brought to CMPD headquarters or division office in person as formal complaints anytime they involve issues reviewable by the Citizens Review Board. They've made other policy changes, they say, as well. We've posted those online at WBTV.com. For now, reporting live in the newsroom, Nick Oxner, WBTV, on your side.